Today signifies a big day for many fans on the football calendar, the start of a brand new season. And we start here today on a fine August afternoon with Farnborough FC away to Tonbridge to kick off the 24-25 seasons in the Vanarama National South League. Right, after that bit of silliness, how are we all doing? The day has arrived. We're kicking off for the second season of our Farnborough FC playthrough, starting in the Vanarama National South League. And yeah, we're away to Tonbridge for the opening game of the season. As you might know from the previous episode, we've only got a handful of signings done in the summer. We let a lot of players go because they were just asking for too much money, or they all wanted to be star players, and we just didn't have the structure for it. So, yeah, we've got a few new players in, but we're nowhere near where we want to be as far as players go. We've still got, let me actually go into the scale and then I'll tell you, we've still got over £3,000 in our wage budget. So, yeah, we've got options going forward. We've got plenty of contracts on the table for players. So hopefully as we progress through these next two matches in today's episode, we'll get some more signings done and I'll be able to introduce them to you. But I'll quickly run through the team today anyway. We've got Alfie Roberts, who is our young, is he 20 now? He's 20 now. He's getting older. Our goalkeeper from last season, he performed better than our veteran goalkeeper, Jack Turner, who didn't like big matches and yeah, wasn't very consistent either. Harry Lee, our brand new right back. He's going to be all right, I suppose. Looking forward to him with his pace, bombing down that right flank. Kenya Jobson, who is now our captain. He is still in centre-back from last year. Sam Bailey, he is playing in centre-back. He's not big. He's only, is he 5'11"? He's only 5'11". So, yeah, it's not my ideal centre-back. But we've dropped him back. I think he might perform better there. He started off last year. He got Young Player of the Year for our team. But much of that success came from playing him in defensive midfield as a segundo volante. But he kind of went off the boil halfway through the season. So we're just keeping him to a more defensive role this year. Then we got Jack Cartwright at left back. He's not very good, but he's still with us from last year. He's only 18, 19, 20 actually. Jack Shaw is another youngster we had from last year, 19. He is sitting there as our ball-winning midfielder for today. Anyway, like I said, we've got loads more players hopefully we're going to be bringing in. Alongside him, we've got Adam Pacey. We would usually have someone like Oliver Pendlebury, who's one of our better players, in central midfield, but he is still recovering from an injury, really, and I don't want to risk losing him further right at the start of the season. Yeah, so Adam Pacey in central midfield alongside Jack Shaw. Another one of our new guys. And on the right wing, we've got Oliver Iro, who's one of our new guys. I think he's all right, and I think he could do well for us this year. Yeah, he's going to give us a good forward threat. I'm hoping for a good contribution to assists and the odd goal as well. Amrit Mansell McNulty, or Mr. McNulty, he is still with us, and yeah, he's again one of our better players alongside Oliver Pendlebury. He's going to sit in attacking midfield as a shadow striker today, and he's going to back up another one of our new guys, Ash Boatswain, and he is a big, tall, 6'3" striker. Come from Ipswich. He's operating as a target man for us today, and hopefully our other attacking players can just feed off of his physical presence up front. Away from there, on the left-hand side, we got Simon Jennings, who was our first youth kind of player from our setup I did last year between our head of youth development and our director of football. So yeah, our head of youth development would go out and find these prospects and our football director would try and get them on board. And this guy was our first guy. He's only 17 now. He's all right. He's nothing special, and I don't think he'll ever particularly turn into anything special either. His current ability is only really for the league below. So, but we have to work with what we got, and that's not a lot. Right, away from there on the bench, we got Matthew Takawira. He is a young Zimbabwean striker. He's come from Luton and Ebbsfleet. And he's got some potential. He's got pace on him. And he's not bad attack-minded kind of way. He's got reasonable technique, heading, first touch, finishing. Off the ball as well. And then his acceleration and his pace is obviously going to make him a threat up front. Then we got Jensen Tinker. He was one of our first signings. He is no, sorry, ignore me. He's not one of our first signings. He's another one of our youth signings. So again, only 17 years old, but he's got some decent potential as a central defender as well. 6'2", so probably a little bit more appropriate than Sam Bailey in central defence, but a little bit green around the gills, as you'd say. Archie Chaplin. Now, he was one of our first signings. He's come from Tottenham, released from their youth setup, and he is a central defender as well. Only 6 foot though, and he's got some work to do on his jumping reach before I really want to put him in. Hopefully we can jack that up and he could be a bit more of a presence to deal with crosses and that sort of thing. At the moment, I feel like he might be a bit of a vulnerability, but might be able to come on if someone gets injured or gets tired later in the game. Daniel Grant is another youth player that came through. He's still only 16 years old, but he can play on the right midfield, right wing. He's just a number at the moment, really. And then Salim Saeed, again, from last year, one of our better players, was hot early on in the season, but went off the boil a little bit like Sam Bailey did in the second half. So we will, that is what we got to work with. That's all we've got. And we are at kickoff time. So we're going to get into this game and see if we can avoid being embarrassed. As for our tactical approach, I've gone for a 4-2-3-1 setup. We're going short passing with low crosses. I want them to try and be expressive, so run at defences, but be more disciplined. We're going to play at a slower tempo with short passes as well. Try and keep that possession up, which we did really well with at the beginning of last season, but then at the end of last season, I had to try and make some tactical changes, and we just gave possession up so much. Some of the games we were finishing on like 29% possession, and it just wasn't good enough. We still did well enough at the end of the season to finish second, but we lost in the playoffs. So I want to win it outright this year. Not with these players, so I need more players. In transition, distribute to. I'm trying to get him distributing out to our to Harry Lee, our right wing back. Just because he's a bit more attacking minded. I want quick attack. Like if we've got the ball at the back, just get it out there, get it up the pitch quick, and then hopefully we can catch them out and get some goals that way. So distribute quickly as well. Counter and counter press, and out of possession we got higher defensive line, high press, step up more, and we are pressing more often. Haven't got that jacked all the way up, but they're definitely going to be pressing. So let's get into it and see what happens. I'm not gonna hate on it too much if it doesn't go well, because at the end of the day, it gets dark. But no, at the end of the day, it's not what I would consider a first team 11 by any length of the imagination. So let's get straight to it. So I think Tonbridge are lining up with a 4-2-3-1 as well, or it might have been a 4-3-3 kind of defensive mid setup. Yeah, but we'll see. Looking forward to the new season. That the end of the last season was such a disappointment, getting so close and then just falling short. Should I say not failing, falling short. But at the beginning of the season, we were only predicted to be sort of a mid-table or lower top half team. Well, that's definitely going onwards, isn't it? Wow, that's a shit start. I don't know what Roberts did there. He kind of just came forwards and let him go around him. Come on, Alfie Roberts. I had faith in you all last season over a much more experienced goalkeeper, and you do that. I mean, that could be a little bit my fault because I've got him in as a sweeper keeper, so yeah, he just needed to have better reactions, really. He needed to see it coming and actually come and claim that ball. That's another one. It's going horribly wrong. It's going horribly wrong already. But I'm not gonna. I can't panic too much. I've got so many players that aren't really left back, not first team player. 2 central midfielders, not first team players. Left wing, not first team player. Striker isn't even my ideal first team player either. He was intended as a secondary striker alongside someone else, or as a substitute. Bring on a big guy late in the game and harass the defense. So yeah, I can't panic too much. It's be unfair to the team. And to be fair to him, we lost so many players. I think without the youth players, we only had 10 players left from last season. So the cohesion is going to be just like it's dropped off a cliff, really. So yeah, I think this is going to be just an embarrassing first game of the season. But yeah, I'm not gonna blame the boys or the tactic because it would just be unfair. It's basically like a half and half team between players that I'd consider first team players and then another half of the team that just are youth prospects, not even good youth. I say not even good youth prospects. You know, they're not one of the kids destined for the first team, but you know, they're just meant to fill out the under 18s team. That's a good solid save there by Alfie Roberts, but now got a corner to defend. So we will see how this goes. Can't defend. Okay, yeah. All right. Still gonna, got to keep telling myself, reserve the judgment. It's first game of the season, and it's not a first team by any means. I'm still building. It's probably going to take us 10 games to really find some rhythm. Probably going to take 3, 4, 5 games until we fill the squad out properly, with everyone that I'm going to want to sign. Like you saw, there's still £3,000 in the wage budget, and we're talking about players that are on like 200, 300. If they're really good and really greedy, they're going to be on asking for like 400, 500 or even more, but I'm not going to pay even more because we just haven't got a wage structure to commit sort of more than £500 should really be my ceiling, and there should only really be one player that is on that, and I'm pretty sure I've already got one player on that. So ideally I want to be filling out the rest of the team below that £500 a week ceiling, which does make things a bit difficult, and it might mean that we're kind of fishing more towards the bottom of the barrel or just hoping that we can pluck players that are getting a bit more desperate to have a spot to play somewhere this season. You know, they're not on anyone's team yet, so is this going to be 4? Oof, another reasonable save by Roberts there. Oh, this is only the first half. Can we just throw in the towel now? Because this is getting embarrassing. Cartwright, he's not exactly an attack-minded player, but he's got it out on the left wing and clearly he doesn't do anything with it. Right, that is the first half, the first agonising half over. So we can move on. All right, just give him a bit of a reality check. What was that, lads? Come on, let's go do something different. Not give the ball away straight away like he nearly did. All right, there still might have to be some tactical tweaks as well as we go through. I'm trying to think a bit more tactically, player by player and per opposition as well. So knowing that they were playing two defensive midfielders, I think they might have switched their tactics actually. But yeah, the idea was to have obviously the big guy up front, central, McNulty as well, kind of central, trying to feed off each other. That was the idea through the centre. But I guess we're just going to have to see how we develop. Oh, just giving the ball away. We're just getting absolutely rinsed by Tonbridge, to be fair. But yeah, I can't blame it on all the players or any of the players. Even the youngsters that are just not going to be performing very well. Oh, why can't they find the head of the big guy? It's nice that they got the cross in, but Tonbridge are straight on the attack, straight through the middle of the defence, and it's needed. Another save by Roberts, another corner to defend. No real sign that we're going to cause them enough sort of threat that we're going to score a goal. All right, I think we're going to have to look at some substitutions soon, or at least maybe our first substitution. Roberts grabs that nice and clean. All right, so Boatswain is on a 6.2. Simon Jennings is on a 6.2. Oliver Iro is on a 6.3. That's a disappointing for our new guy. He should be one of our better players. But I think I'm going to swap Iro for Jennings. And then I'm going to switch him to an inside forward on support. Jennings, you're getting carted off and swapped out for Daniel Grant. I do have Saeed on the bench, but he's recovering from an injury just like Pendlebury, but I had to fill the seat out, the subs bench out, so that is why he's there. And if I get desperate, then maybe he can come on at some point. He can kind of play up front as well. All right, I think I'm going to bring on Takarira for a bit more pace, but he's obviously going to be a poacher for us. I think I might change the role of McNulty as well to an attacking midfielder and support. And then can we change Daniel Grant to a winger on attack, I think. And then let's see if that changes anything for us. Iro should be a good player. He's got 2 good feet as well. He's right-footed, but he's got a strong left foot as well. So he should be able to cross from that left-hand side, and he should be able to cut in and shoot as well. That was the kind of idea behind it. So we're kind of envisioning like Saeed on that right wing, Iro on the left. But anything can change at this point. It depends what other players we can find. Come on, switch on, boys. At least they close that down. But we've been better in this second half, you know. No goals this half compared to 3 goals in the last half. So a little bit better, maybe. A little bit less embarrassing. At least the goalkeeper did follow instruction and he played it out to Lee. And Lee just doesn't do a very good pass, unfortunately. Hopefully. Oh, maybe he needs a bit more support in this area. All right. You know what? I'm going to bring Saeed on for... let's bring him on for Adam Pacey. I'm going to bring McNaughty back. I'm going to swap these guys around. McNaughty is going to be, I think... and we bring you in as an advanced playmaker on support, and hopefully you can find some space around here for Lee to pass to. And sure, yeah, you are our ball-winning midfielder. Defend. All right. Might want to change Saeed to a shadow striker again. No, let's leave him as attacking midfielder. On attack though. See if we can get even a hint of a goal threat in this game. We have had 7 shots and 2 on target, so it's not like we've been completely shut out. But yeah, we got to find a full first starting 11 to start with, and then also some key team cohesion. And once we got the better players in as well, they're all going to be able to feed off each other and operate a little bit better at a nice level across the board. At the moment, they're so disjointed with sort of skill level, then that, yeah, they're just not going to be able to play very well together. But we're looking like we're trying to string something together here late in the game. Big ball over top to McNaughty, and he finds Saeed, and we get our first goal of the 2024-25 season. We are off the mark. I wouldn't say we're off the mark and running, but we are off the mark. So that is good. All right. I think McNaughty might be happier. I know he's in central midfield and not on the wing, but yeah, he does seem to operate a little bit better out wide. And I think that central role, maybe, he just doesn't suit him, perhaps. And as we close down a shot there, we concede another corner. Hopefully we can defend and not concede another. Is that a defensive header? That will be. Another corner. It'd be nice if we can get another goal, and then, you know, even if we see the game out 3-2, it's not so embarrassing. We've definitely been better in the second half. I don't know if that's the substitutions or the team just settling a bit more. I'm imagining Tom Bridge are a much more settled starting 11 than what we've got. But we've got a throw in high up the pitch. Grant right in the corner. He finds Lee. Lee gets a cross in, but he can't find an attacker's head. Cartwright into Iro, and that supposedly decent left foot was a bit of a letdown. But I'm going to keep my faith. I'm sure he's going to come good in the end. We managed to play the ball out quite calmly from defence. Up to Saeed. Saeed over the top for Takarora. They can only defend us far back. Clear as far as Iro. Short to McNaughty. McNaughty finds Lee on the overlap. Back to McNaughty. McNaughty with the long range shot that goes over the bar. Okay, we're still. Well, I was going to say we're still on the attack. We're kind of on the attack. Can we? Go, go, Cartwright, go. Oh no. Okay, they're snuffing out everything now. Well, that's going to be that for the first game of the season. A 3-1 loss away to Tonbridge. A disappointing start, but I'm not surprised. To be fair, I think the players that we have in any team in this league would be able to beat us right now. So I'm hoping those players with contracts on the table start to roll in through the door. We really need to fill the team out quite desperately. So I'll push on towards the next game and I'll let you know if we get any more players through the door. Okay, just for a little update, we have sold 3 more season tickets than we did last season. So, yay. Not so great. And then I saw this pop in as well, set to sign, and I forgot. It's just it's head physio. So, not very exciting. But I thought I'd also let you know, in a weird way, I'm not really used to it being like this, but for the start of the season, we've got 3 games crammed into the first week. So to allow us an opportunity to hopefully bring someone else in so I can introduce them to you guys, I'm going to play Havant and Waterlooville off camera, and then we'll come back for the Slough game. Because literally 2 days in between games isn't allowing a lot of time for anyone to come through the door. So yeah, I'll see you on the other side of Havant and Waterlooville. Right, so a quick little update before our game against Havant and Waterlooville tomorrow. We have a loan opportunity of Darius Lipswick, and it's kind of me just getting a little bit desperate, really. I'm not entirely keen on him. It only cost us £75 a week. He'd have to play in central midfield as a deep line playmaker. If I wanted to have more free reign, then they wanted more like £300 a week, which I weren't willing to pay. He's got good passing, okay vision, and he could play in the middle of the park for us. But I'm just delaying that decision for the moment, just to see if we can get any other options in. I've tried to sign a couple of strikers that I really want, but I tried signing them too recently and I still can't go back in for another offer yet. So I'm just going to have to be a little bit more patient, but we can confirm 2 more signings. But unfortunately, they're not even first team signings. So we've got Niall Timpson, who's just going to be a backup centre back, really. He's 18 years old, come from Aston Villa. He's 6 foot, and he's just going to be another option at centre back. If we compare him with, say, who we're going to, Archie Chaplin. I mean, they're relatively comparable. Chaplin's got more pace, better mental, so I mean, at least Niall Timpson can jump a little bit better than Archie Chaplin. I don't know what's wrong with Chaplin's legs. He can't jump for shit, really. But he has better heading, so it's kind of 6 of one, half a dozen of another, really. But yeah, that is just another optional backup for us. He's only going to cost us £50 a week. So yeah, barely makes a dent in our wage budget. And then we've got Callum Moore. Again, he's backup right back for us. He can play more advanced, sort of up the wing. Can almost semi kind of play in different positions as well, but really is right back. And again, if we compare him with Harry Lee, yeah, kind of comparable, but I like the fact that Harry Lee's 6 foot. Yeah, even at this lower level, for our sort of right and left backs, I do like them to still have some height. so they can chip in with sort of aerial defensive duties as well. Although Callum Moore somehow has better heading and better jumping. So, yeah. But on the defensive side, yeah, Callum Moore's got marking, and Harry Lee has tackling. So maybe it'll be a case of they're not that dissimilar level-wise, and it'll just be a case to see who really performs better. But he is in for £95 a week. So yeah, that's another option at right back. We now have 2 right backs, 4 centre backs. Technically got more if you count some of the younger players as well, youth players really. But yeah, we're getting some more numbers in. Right, and now we've got another player willing to put pen to paper. We're kind of getting overloaded in the central defence kind of area. This is Sam Dreyer, 21-year-old. He has played at Biggleswade, Stevenage, Hendon, Kings Langley, Bedford and Peterborough, even though he didn't play for Peterborough. But he's, yeah, like I said, 21 years old, 6'3" central defender, a lot better jumping reach and heading ability maybe than some of the other guys. Apparently not rated as well, but on paper I'd rate him quite highly. I'd put him more in the ilk of Kanye Jobson, who's really our number one centre back. If I could just find him, Jobson, there we go. So yeah, pretty good. He's got the height, he's got the aerial ability as well. So yeah, he's better at heading, and no, he's better at jumping, sorry, not heading, than Kanye Jobson. But they're equal on tackling and marking. Yeah, and I feel like he could be an asset to the team. He's coming in for £220. Yeah, so still getting a little bit overloaded, but some of these players can also play in this defensive midfield role as well, as can Kanye Jobson as well. So we have options at centre back and potentially in defensive midfield as well. So yeah, he's coming in for £220 a week. Well, as soon as we got him in, we've got a host of clubs lining up to take Niall Timpson out on loan, which I don't mind so much. We've got Hednesford willing to pay his full wages, and they are only in the league below, so I don't mind that so much. Really, he's at a level where he can play in this league. And there's also Cirencester that I've got to consider as well. They are actually 2 leagues below, but they do have 2.5-star training facilities, which could do well for his development. Whereas Hednesford do not. I mean, they're probably on par with our training facilities. 0.5 star, pretty rubbish, really. We've not got the finances to upgrade them yet, so I'm not even going to bother trying to ask the board if we can upgrade them. So yeah, I've kind of got a decision to make. Do I let them go out on loan, or do I keep them around? So I've got Archie Chaplin, Sam Bailey, Niall Timpson, Kanye Jobson, and Sam Dreyer, who can all play in and cover that position. So, and there's also a couple of youngsters as well. So is he really needed? Probably not. And we got him on a 2-year contract as well. So I think I'm going to decline these 2 middle ones, and I'll just give him perhaps the option between these 2 clubs, and we'll just hope he chooses the right place, and if he chooses to go, then his development can progress nicely. And we've also got another player ready to come through the door, Cian Willows. He is going to be our backup goalkeeper. He's not really going to set the world alight, but he's got good potential. He's only 18 years old, comes from Nottingham Forest. But yeah, he's very much going to be the backup to Alfie Roberts. So I'll just quickly give you a comparison. And yeah, I mean, again, not a million miles apart, as in their ability. But yeah, Alfie Roberts is definitely going to be our number one goalkeeper. And it's good to have a second choice goalkeeper in. Maybe we get some cup games to help his development along the way. So I'm going to confirm that. And that is another player through the door, £45 a week. And now we've got another player as well ready to sign on the dotted line. Rody McGlinchey. He's willing to come on board as a breakthrough prospect, £120 a week. Probably a little bit high in my books for this level for a breakthrough prospect at £120 a week. But we've got the money to kind of burn at the moment in a way. So he's a central midfielder. He's got reasonable passing, vision, technique, first touch. So he should be quite comfortable in the middle of the park. He is consistent. Yeah, he is consistent. The only thing's going against him really is very one-footed. Got to do better when it comes to marking, but I'm not really going to be relying on him too much for that necessarily. Yeah, and he would come in as a reasonable level central midfielder, definitely better than the two I'm relying on right now, Jack Shaw and who's the other guy? I can't even remember. Adam Pacey, that's the one. So if I was to compare him with Adam Pacey, because he's more of a central midfielder, Jack Shaw's really a breakthrough prospect at defensive midfield. So Adam Pacey, and yeah, so definitely got some better attributes. He's a nice tall player again, so he can contribute to sort of aerial duels, and he's got much better physical attributes as well, and a little bit better on the vision, looking to sort of forward play. So yeah, he's definitely going to be a better option than Adam Pacey in the middle of the park, potentially play alongside Oliver Pendlebury. So we're going to confirm that, and that's another £120 off the wage budget, but another player through the door. Right, another update before our game against Havant and Waterlooville. Things coming in thick and fast right now, but we do have another player that's willing to sign on the dotted line. However, before that, I just got reminded of some player promises. So Niall Timpson, I guess I overlooked it when I signed him, but he wanted to go straight out on a loan move. That's why we got the loan offers coming in. So he will hopefully be going out on loan to one of those two teams. I think I will offer him out two clubs for loan as well, just to see if we can get some other offers in. Maybe we can get an offer in from another team in our league, potentially. We've satisfied Alfie Roberts, who just wanted to be playing more when he came back from injury, and Kanye Robson wanted to be playing as a no-nonsense centre-back in the middle of defence as well. He's happy with that. Sam Dreyer wants to be used as central defender as a no-nonsense player as well, but he's in as a squad player, so whether he'd be going in alongside Kanye Jobson as two no-nonsense central defenders, I don't know, or whether he can like come in and interchange with Kanye Jobson as well. However, Sam Bailey, who wanted a new contract at the end of the season but wanted far too much money, couldn't give him the contract he wanted. He is contracted to the end of the year, so he's got a year left. But I did tell him I'll sell him, so he might be on the way out. I've instructed our director of football to try and get him sold for his asking price, or his valuation, sorry, which is 26,000. So if we could get him off the books, his wage isn't high at the moment, but if we can get 26,000 in for him, I'm a little bit doubtful that we will. There was interest in him last season from some, I think, League Two clubs were looking at him. So potentially, but currently there's no interest in him at the moment. So we'll see what happens there. And he might just need to, if no one comes in for him, I'm not going to just let him go for next to nothing. So he might just have to lump it if he has to stick with us for the season. However, we also have another person ready to come through the door, Tom Olliott, but he's he's a left winger, and he wants to come in for £240 a week, which is quite high for what level I see him at. But he's quite ambitious. He really wanted these landmark assist bonuses. He was quite insistent on that. So I kind of liked his ambition. He was going to chip in quite highly with assists. But looking at him, I'm kind of doubtful that he actually has that ability. He's got reasonable crossing. Dribbling's nothing to really shout about. Good first touch though, good work rate, and some good physical attributes as well. However, left wing, I've got players, Oliver Iro, McNulty and Saeed can all play in that position. Do I really need another person? And do I need him that bad that I'm going to pay him £240 a week? I don't know. I'm going to delay that as well as that loan move. And just, yeah, I'm just going to marinate on that for a little while. But at the moment, I'm kind of erring on the side of no. So we'll see. Okay, guys, we have played our midweek game against Havant and Waterlooville. We played really well, kind of. So we're controlling the game quite well and looked really solid at the back. So I'm quite pleased about that. We clearly got some decent level defenders controlling things at the back for us. We went 2-0 up, but then in the second half, Havant and Waterlooville did start coming back into the game. They brought it back to 2-2, but then that man, Salim Saeed, came through on the 92nd minute out of 93 for a last gasp winner for us. So we did manage to run out 3-2 winners. A little bit disappointed with the low home attendance there. Only 631 people in attendance. So that is a little bit disappointed. Maybe that's because our squad's still a little bit underwhelming at the moment. But we'll see if that picks up. And straight out of the game, really, we have another player willing to sign on the dotted line. This is Charlie Pavey, a future prospect, sort of attacking midfielder. He can play right across the back and kind of right across the middle as well. So a good, versatile player. Only 18 years old, and he comes from Aston Villa. And yeah, he's got some good potential there. 12 passing, 13 technique, first touch 14, 13 flair, 11 off the ball, 9 vision. So yeah, could become quite a nice creative player for us. Yeah, but he's just going to come in as a future prospect for £70 a week. So yeah, bit of a bargain, I think. So we'll get him on the books and see if anyone else has come through the door. We did have some misfortune. Jack Cartwright got a tight Achilles, so he's out for a couple of days. Might not be back for the next game because it's literally in 2 days, well, 3 days. But and our new striker, Ash Boatswain, he is out with what was the twisted knee, I think he did. Where is he? Ash Boatswain, pulled knee ligament. So awesome. 2 games in and he is out for a few weeks. So we're kind of desperate for people up front of real quality. So yeah, I'm hoping that a couple of guys we've got our eye on, we can't go in for another contract offer at the moment because we offered one too recently, but hopefully we will be able to get another contract offer on the table for one of them or 2 of them relatively soon. We're still pretty good for money, over 2,500, still in the kitty for a wage budget. So options are still there. All right, guys. So we are back for our next game, the 3rd game of the season, 3rd game in the week to open up the 2024-25 season. And, well, we've still got a bit of a makeshift squad going on. I'm trying to patch it together as best I can. So Jack Cartwright took a knock in the last game at left back. So I've pulled Sam Bailey over to fill in for him. I feel like he's probably got the attributes to be able to train as left back. So I have actually got him training as left back. He could be a left back option for us. I've got a contract on offer on a left back who would be number 1 left back. But as a secondary backup at left back, Sam Bailey would be a lot better than Jack Cartwright. Sorry, Jack, but it's true. Right, and Penderbury is still not fully fit, and this will be second game in 3-4 days. So I'm not starting with him today. He started the midweek game, so he's getting rested today. He might come on later in the game, and we kind of got a makeshift front two as well. We got Saeed. He's definitely not going to be playing as a target forward actually. So we are going to play him as a deep line forward. Yeah. Well, we'll see how that works out. It might change his role as we go through the game. And as Saeed is up front and not on the right wing, because Ash Botswain got injured, as we know. Yeah, I've had to bring in new boy Callum Moore, who I actually brought in for right back, but luckily he can play all the way up on that right hand side. So he is going to cover at on the right wing for us. Will it work? I don't know, but we can give it a good go anyway, can't we? Players seem to be happy enough with the setup, but we're going to have to see. So, I think we beat Slough both times last year. Maybe. I might be wrong. I know they definitely made it into a video, but their team is probably rated higher than we are at the moment. Once we're done with this game and before I close out the episode, I will go and have a look at the league preview and see where the media prediction have us when we started. Well, yeah, when the season ticked over and we only had 10 players, we were pretty much rock bottom as far as predictions have gone. So it'll be good to see how far our signings have brought us up in the media predictions for the season. Right, we've got a corner to be defending. Hopefully our defence can look as solid as it did last game. Even though we conceded 2 last game, for the most part, they did look quite solid. And as they form partnerships as well, I expect them to get better as well. But that is definitely, I was going to say that's definitely goalkeeper's fault, but that's took a big deflection on the way through. And I think that might have been off Sam Bailey as well. So inexperience at left back maybe, and then deflection. I can't blame the goalie either. So an unfortunate 1-0 down, but we've got a good chunk of the game to get back in it. All right, Slough with a throw in up their end. We were definitely having the sort of lion's share of the highlights in the last game, so maybe we're just without our big centre forward, well, target man up front, and Penderbury in the middle, and an actual left back. Then yeah, maybe I think it's brought our quality right down. But we do have a throw in up in Slough's half. Lee with the cross. Can't quite find anyone in the box. Bailey on the edge, and he passes to a Slough player. Okay. Roberts can pick the ball up at the back. Play it out to Lee. Back to Roberts. They can just keep the ball for a little bit. That was a bit of a lazy pass up to Chaplin. I think I might have to start calling Chaplin Charlie Chaplin up rather than Archie Chaplin, because why wouldn't you? Bailey done really well there, driving with the ball into the box, and he pulls it back, and yeah, that was real good work from him. Maybe he could really become a good, maybe a wing back. I was picturing him as a fullback, but maybe he's got the ability to be a wing back, and he finds McGlinchey with that pullback. Now we've got McNulty on a free kick, and he's not quite as good as Penbury on a dead ball. But it's back to 1-1, so We're back in with a shout here with our makeshift team. And we've got a corner. A few minutes before the end of the first half. Can we make anything from it? Can't quite find anyone in the box. I have got someone else. Oh, lovely shot from outside the area from Harry Lee. 20-yard screamer. Yes, indeedy. 2-1 up against Slough away with our makeshift team. I'm quite happy. I'm enjoying seeing what I'm seeing. There are some good things, some positive things coming out from some of our new players. And yeah, I can't wait to keep on patching this team together and just seeing what we can do. Yeah, I've got lofty dreams of automatic promotion going on inside my head. Oh, that was a bit closer from McNulty. Yeah, getting closer. If he gets another chance, maybe it will go in. But yeah, some good plays there. So what was I saying? Yeah. So last season I had my assistant manager playing, doing the set pieces, and I've got one of our coaches now doing the set pieces. So it's now gone from, I think he was like maybe 4 on set pieces, and our other coach is 7 or an 8, 7 I think it is, but it's still nearly twice as good. So hopefully we'll start seeing some better plays from our set pieces as well. And staff wise, one thing I forgot to tell you is, well, I'll wait until we're out of the match and I'll go and show you stuff, because yeah, there's a couple of novelties in there. So yeah, we'll have to see who we've got in on the staff. Totally forgot to show you all that. Been too focused on trying to, have at least a full squad. Priorities, right? Okay. Slough on the ball. Can we defend as a unit? No. Oh, good save by Roberts. Diving over to his left. I'd like the next replay to be ours, please, and for us to score another football goal. Let's have a look at what substitutions we can make. We can obviously bring Pendlebury on. Got any tired legs? Everyone's sort of doing okay. And McNulty on the left. We could bring Simon Jennings on, the youngster. He might be able to come on and do something. Might give him a chance. About half an hour. This could backfire, but youngsters need minutes if they're going to progress. And Simon Jennings is one of our hotter prospects, so we'll give him a whirl. Let's bring some more subs on. Right, Pendlebury, you can come on for Sam Dre. He's done all right on his debut. And we're going to swap these guys around. And Pendlebury can push up further. Okay, Sam Bailey has definitely done all right filling in there for Jack Cartwright. And I think we bring Takarira on for Oliver Iro. In fact, I'm going to bring him on for Saeed. And then we're just going to swap them over. Going to have one advanced forwards and one poacher. They're going to be pushing right up against that back line. Going to give them a shout of encouragement as well, just for good measure. Sam Bailey with the throw-in, finds Jennings, and cuts inside, finds McGlinchey, back to Bailey. Can he find a good cross? He can. And he finds Moore, but Moore can't really get any power on the header, and it's looped. I think it was going wide anyway, but the goalkeeper had that easily covered. Bailey with the throw-in again on the left-hand side. He finds Iro. And dinked ball over the top to Jennings. Oh, Jennings. That was offside anyway, but that was a nice movement. Right, 83 minutes. Roberts plays it out to Lee. Lee finds Moore on that right wing. Can we get a nice cross in by Moore? We do. He finds Jennings. Ooh. Yeah. Okay. Jennings isn't really the player to try and find the head on. We've probably got no players in there to really put big looping crosses in. Maybe a driven low cross. They're probably all about average height of about 5 foot. Oh, but that is some nice play. Callum Moore with a debut goal, and Jennings, I think it was with the assist. Bailey with the throw in to Jennings. Yeah, Bailey back to Jennings, crossed to Moore, and he just slots it into the top of the goal. Lovely stuff. 3-1 away to Slough. Just got a free kick to defend here. Oh, plucked out the air by Roberts there. Good goalkeeping. 7 minutes of injury time. That does seem a little excessive. I've not even seen anyone injured. I might just instruct him to waste some time. I don't do it very often, but try and give the boys a bit of a break. They're doing so well considering they're a patched together team. And just got a bit of defending to do here. If we can get the ball back and then waste a bit of time, I don't mind that. I mean, we've got the 2-goal cushion, so good save low down to his left for Roberts there. Slough with the corner. They do find a Slough head, but he can't do anything but head the ball over. Right. Nearly seen the game out. We're into the last minute of the game. Lee managed to gain possession back from that throw-in. Can we push for one last attack, one last goal? Moore with the cross. Jennings. I was kind of I had kind of visions of a spectacular overhead kick there. It was like looked like that was made for it. He was just stepping away from goal. It was looping onto him. That would have been something, wouldn't it? And that is the game. Well, not bad performances all round. We do have some 7s there. Callum Moore on his debut with a goal, 7.6. Simon Jennings, youngster, a 7.3. Roddy McGlinchey, he's got a 7.7. And Sam Bailey in that makeshift left back position, 7.6. And Harry Lee, another new boy, 7.4. Some really good performances there. Nice work, lads. Well done. Well, 3 games in, 6 points on the board, and we're in the playoff places. So let's keep on heading up, I guess. So, staff-wise, let's introduce you to a couple of people. Notably first, my assistant manager, Theo Walcott. So, yeah, old Theo is he's my assistant manager at 35 years old. He's not spectacular, but I got him for 150 a week on a part-time contract, being an assistant manager in the 6th tier. So I thought, why not? And his stats aren't terrible. So yeah. Who's doing our set pieces? I think it might be this guy, Tom Perinello. He is new. I mean, all these guys I think are new, except for Chris Beardsley, Alex Petheram, and yeah, I think everyone else is new. I think, yeah, managed to get. I've got 2 goalkeeping coaches in now, and I'm hoping we can get some real development with our young goalkeepers as well. And all our training stats are nice and high for this league. So yeah, I'm wanting some results by the boys. So where else did we go? Who's that? No, we got an under 21s manager in. We never had one last year. But we have Aaron Lennon in as well. Aaron Lennon, 37 years old, under 18s coach. Yeah, he's in on £100 a week. Yeah, just some novelty names chucked in for good measure. We're still trying to find an actual under-18s manager. We got an ad out, but not many takers so far. But yeah, so that's it for today's episode. We're going to have more people coming in through the door. Got more contracts still on the table for people. So yeah, we'll have to introduce you to any new boys we got in the next episode. Let's just have a look at the schedule and see where we'll be coming back at. And I'm guessing it's going to be a clash against Torquay and our entry into the FA Cup in the second qualifying round. Torquay obviously knocked us out of the playoffs last year, so yeah, we've got some beef with Torquay, I'd say. So we'll be back for Torquay and our FA Cup game, and yeah, hopefully we've got a few more players to introduce to you. As for now, I hope you have a brilliant rest of your day. If you've liked today's content, like, and if you've got anything to say, put it in the comments down below. Yeah, and if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Really appreciate everyone that is subscribing. And now, yeah, hope you have a brilliant rest of your day, and I will see you again in the next one. See ya.